Hey, hi everyone. Good morning. Okay. I hope I'm audible. Just maybe wait for a minute before we start, and then I will today orient us to our intent first. Um, second. Okay. Okay, so welcome to your alignment to love consciousness. We will be doing this for a month and a half, meeting twice a week in the mornings, Mondays and Wednesdays. Um, hello, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Okay, great. So, a little bit about why this came to me. So, there was a constant calling that somewhere in our lives, when we start to just live it, when there is so much kitch happening all the time, when there are so many ups and downs that do come, and it's difficult for us to operate out of love at all times. So the whole intention was that we will understand and try and align to what love consciousness is also trying to tell us. So I think most of us here already know and understand that love is more than just between two people. Of course, that matters as well, and that's very, very important. But somewhere love is a frequency, it's an energy, it's always flowing through us, with us, within us, to us. And it comes in various forms, various wrappers. Sometimes the wrappers are not to our liking. Sometimes love becomes associated with a lot of hurt, grief, betrayal, and so on and so forth. Um, and as a result, we do block ourselves to the flow of love in our life. So I wanted to understand and I wanted to listen to what love has to say to all of us. And that will be the intent over the next 1.5 months, where we will listen, become aware of what love consciousness wants us to do, wants us to understand, wants us to become aware of. So we will radically read out the messages with the intent that what is love consciousness wanting to tell us today. Maybe try and understand that a little bit, talk about it. If there's some discussion, something that comes in your mind, please put it on the chat box. I would love to hear your point of view as well. And then we will end it with a recitation, wherein we awaken that alignment, that awareness, and awaken love through us and with us. Yeah. So since it's day one, I thought a little bit of intent setting is important as well. Okay. So let's begin. Let's try and understand what love consciousness is trying to tell us today. Okay. So the message is: reminder to keep a stiff lip. Use your discretion before you speak. It is nice to be open in one's communication. However, not everything needs to be told to everyone at all points of time. You need to know what to say, to whom to say, and how much to say. When you blurt out things knowingly or unknowingly, you could be harming yourself or others in the process. So be careful, be thoughtful before you open your mouth to express anything. Maintain confidentiality, maintain your vigilance when you speak. Most relationships are built on trust and faith in each other. When you are in a relationship, people often trust you with valuable information, opinions, and insights with a trust that it will not be shared with others. However, due to your own reasons, when these secrets are not honored and confidentiality is not maintained, you not only lose the trust, but you also at times incur grave damage to your relationships. If this is a one time event, of course you can forgive yourself with a resolution to have higher vigilance in the future. If it is a pattern in your life, then you need to make sure that you address this pattern effectively and explore the reasons behind this lax attitude towards secrets and confidentiality. At times, not exercising aware vigilance and restraint on your untimely spoken words creates unnecessary damage. Cultivate an art of speaking the right thing at the right time, in the right manner, to the right person, in the right frame of mind. Okay, so a lot of times when it comes to people, relationships, um, we are told things. People trust us with so much. They share their vulnerable self. And many times without even realizing, sometimes in a group setting, you just carefree in a very careless manner, actually not even carefree, in a very careless manner, just blurt out, oh, remember you had said this to me, but how about this happening? And this happens a lot of times even in healing workshops, like people put themselves out there, they share, and at some point later we quote them, we share about them sometimes in another group um, which is not the original group where we had shared it initially. And all these things, we do this. Why? Well, a lot of times it is just carelessness. A lot of times it's almost like a match the column that happens. Oh, and you remember that this person had said this before and you want to bring it up. But what we often forget is the setup in which we are bringing it up, and more importantly, the manner in which we communicate. Confidentiality is not always just about keeping secrets and not talking or not sharing, but it's also the timing, it's also the setup. And love consciousness today is somewhere saying that, um, for me to flow, it's not important how honest you are, but it is important, um, how much in integrity you are when you do put out something to those you love. Are you doing it out of a need to put them down? Are you doing them to show one upmanship? Are you truly doing it because you're a well wisher? Do you know what is really good for them, or is it still your rule book that you're operating out of? And all these impositions, all these beliefs, often dictate how we're communicating and what we're communicating. Is it really important sometimes to keep reminding them of something that they have shared with you, when they were, say, upset, when they were sad? So many times we go back to saying, remember when you had told me this, and then how could you do this now? Why are we doing it? What is the motive? If it is, sure, if it is that something that you felt and you want to share, you want to just put it out there, did we need to do it in front of everyone? Was there a need to blurt it out in that moment itself? And these are questions to ask ourselves, because when we love, when we share love, um, it's very important that we also do it in the manner sometimes where the other person is also okay to receive it. So you can completely say that, yeah, I said this out, or I blurted it out because I think the person needs to implement this. It's good for the person. Yeah, and you may not be wrong. But is the person ready? If they are not, then are you not further making them defensive, making them go back into their shell, also hampering their trust, something that they trusted you with, and maybe they're not ready to listen to it again at another moment in time. But when we open ourselves to love, we become sensitive to understanding the other person's need, the timing, the manner in which we need to speak out things. And that is what actually increases the flow of love between two people, between you and your situation, between you and a group of people. When you are truly immersed in the frequency of love, somehow the timing fits, you know what to say, you know when to say, you know to whom to say it, and you know in the manner in which you need to communicate. Till then, sometimes we just blurt out things. Often we blurt out things also to prove our point. Like we are right, you're wrong. Are you not understanding my point of view? But take a step back and ask yourself, are you doing this so that you can win? Or are you doing this so that you can love and you can be loved? The motivation is very different. You can win an argument very easily, in fact, sometimes I feel. But is there love? Are you doing this lovingly? Or are you doing this just so that you can feel okay about where you are at and okay about who you are? So that is the message from love today. Let's begin reciting a little bit. Yeah. So let's close our eyes. Take a few deep breaths in and out. Breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the mouth. Breathe in love and breathe out all our beliefs about love. Breathe in sensitivity and breathe out our insensitivity. Breathe in gentle expression and breathe out the need to blurt out. And then return to normal breathing. In this space, please connect to love consciousness. Feel this frequency flowing through you, to you, and with you at all times. Connect to radical consciousness. And connect to your highest consciousness. And with that, with either eyes open or closed, let's recite. I solve my need to blurt out. I dissolve my need to blurt out. I resolve my need to blurt out. I co-solve my need to blurt out. I super-solve my need to blurt out. I awaken sensitivity. I awaken the sensitive me. I solve my need to blurt out. I dissolve my need to blurt out. I resolve my need to blurt out. I co-solve my need to blurt out. I super-solve my need to blurt out. I awaken sensitivity. I awaken the sensitive me. I solve my need to gossip. I dissolve my need to gossip. I resolve my need to gossip. I co-solve my need to gossip. I super-solve my need for gossip. I awaken refined communication. I awaken the refined me. I solve my need to gossip. I dissolve my need to gossip. I resolve my need to gossip. I co-solve my need to gossip. I super-solve my need to gossip. I awaken refined communication. I awaken the refined me. I solve my need to prove myself. I dissolve my need to prove myself. I resolve my need to prove myself. I co-solve my need to prove myself. I super-solve my need to prove myself. I awaken security. I awaken the secure me. I solve my need to prove myself. I dissolve my need to prove myself. I resolve my need to prove myself. I co-solve my need to prove myself. I super-solve my need to prove myself. I awaken security. I awaken the secure me. I solve mistrust. I dissolve mistrust. I resolve mistrust. I co-solve mistrust. I super-solve mistrust. I awaken faith. I awaken me with full faith. I solve mistrust. I dissolve mistrust. I resolve mistrust. I co-solve mistrust. I super-solve mistrust. I awaken faith. I awaken me with full faith. I solve my timing of expression. I dissolve my timing of expression. I resolve my timing of expression. I co-solve my timing of expression. I super-solve my timing of expression. I awaken the right timing of my expression. I awaken me in synchronicity with the love consciousness. I solve my timing of expression. I dissolve my timing of expression. I resolve my timing of expression. I co-solve my timing of expression. I supersolve my timing of expression. I awaken the right timing of my expression. I awaken me in synchronous flow with the love consciousness. I solve love. I dissolve love. I resolve love. I co-solve love. I supersolve love. I awaken love. I awaken me in the flow of love. I solve love. I dissolve love. I resolve love. I co-solve love. I supersolve love. I awaken love. I awaken me in the flow of love. I solve myself. I dissolve myself. I resolve myself. I co-solve myself. I supersolve myself. I awaken myself. I awaken the awakened me. I solve myself. I dissolve myself. I resolve myself. I co-solve myself. I supersolve myself. I awaken myself. I awaken the awakened me. And finally, I peacefully progress with love. I peacefully progress with love. I peacefully progress with love. Deep breath in and out. And when you feel ready, you may come back to the here and now. If you have any questions, anything that you would like to ask or share right now, you can do so. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. We next meet on Monday. We will start by 8:45 a.m. and not 8:30. I will put it up on the groups as well. And my sincere request, if you think this is useful, do share the YouTube link ahead with friends and family. And you all can join me next time on Monday, 8:45 a.m. Set your reminders. Yes, awesome. Thank you all so much. Bye bye. Have a lovely day. Take care.